Remember, do not like follow in my footsteps. This is for entertainment purposes only. I am not telling you how to do this. This is you should not follow my example. I am not trained. I am not a professional. I am simply a buffoon with time on his hands who was trying to fix his own. Okay. Hey, what are you doing? Alright, so today I'm fixing my RG35XXH's screen. I dropped it and it broke, so I am replacing it. I got this one from AliExpress for like $12. It took like 2.5 weeks to get here, which felt like forever. So far, all I've really done is I've taken out the back plate, I disconnected the battery, and then I just kind of popped off the triggers. The back plate needs hex screws, little tiny ones, and then now we have moved on to using a Phillips head screwdriver. I thought I was recording before, but I guess I wasn't. So, you know, fucking sucks to suck. That's how it goes. So if you hear any noises, I got pets in here. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm also not a technician. This is not a shop. This is my bedroom, so there's gonna be hair and shit. So just be aware, dude. And if my hands look crazy, it's because I'm always sweaty. I'm a sweaty ass mongrel, and these things are making my hands super sweaty. But I can't touch this without them on it. So without them on, at least. So. Back to what we were doing here. So yeah, basically the most important part is getting the back off and making sure that battery's disconnected. We really don't want it to short out anything. And then I would just, the only thing I've taken out so far from here is one screw to start getting this speaker taken out. So what we're going to do, now that we have that screw taken out, let me kind of zoom in here. There we go. So we're going to be disconnecting this cable here and this cable right here so we can remove the speakers. Dude, you know that feeling when your cat finally gives you your fucking chair back? Oh, magical. So with these ones, we just want to kind of gently give a little tiny wiggle. Nothing crazy. Just a gentle little wiggle on the cable itself until the white connector finally comes free. There we go. Yeah, so I finally got that connector free there. Yeah, so just gentle wiggles on the cables until it comes free. You really, especially here, do not want to put a lot of pressure because then you will just have to buy yet another part to fix. So just be very, very careful. You can use, like, let's say if you have a tool of some kind, use it to gently get the cable in an area where you can grab it, but you do not want to do any kind of yank or quick pulling motions of any kind. You just want to get a decent grip on it and just give it, a tiny little shake, a tiny little shimmy until it finally comes loose. You know, I shake, shimmy. I'm slipping, I'm sliding, and I just gotta get my groove on when I'm in the backseat riding. Okay, cool, we got it. All right, and then from there, we can take off the speakers. It's actually kind of neat. These ones are super cool. They actually just kind of connect there, and they're magnetic on the bottom, so they like actually connect to the plates behind the thumbsticks. I thought that was just super fucking neat the first time that I opened this. I didn't even know that was a thing. Like, that is just super cool. I'm not a tech savvy guy, so that was a really rad discovery to make. Alright, now is going to be a lot more of the annoying bits, like specifically getting out the joysticks, so let's go ahead and start doing that. Shouts out to Harbor Freight and Pittsburgh Automotive for the magnetic bowl. Love it. Alright, so these ones are kind of weird, because I didn't notice it at first, but they've got little, what's it called? They've got those clips, you know what I'm saying? Like the little draw clips, so you gotta like lift it up in order to get the actual ribbon cable out, and it's a pain in the ass because it's super, super tiny. Like, they are incredibly tiny, so you do run quite the risk of accidentally damaging the ribbon cable. I was lucky to not do that the first time. Don't know if I'm gonna be that lucky this time. Luckily for me, this thing was kind of my tinker toy, so I could learn how to do a lot of this kind of stuff, so I'm not too worried about it, but also I don't want things to get too shitty. Yeah, so as I was saying before, these ones are kind of tricky because it's like these clips that are on there are so incredibly tiny, and the chances of you having something like tiny and plastic that's going to work for that is probably pretty slim. So I'm going to see if I can kind of just like shimmy mine out. There we go. Yeah, so I shimmied that one out. Next one. Just going to do a bit of the same thing. See, this one was tricky because there's a screw right here that like clamps on that thing. And weirdly enough, it actually kind of looks like there's a short on this ribbon cable. I don't know if the other one had that. Hold on. Yeah. Or not a short, I don't know what you would call this, but there's like a cinch. Yeah, you see it right there at the end of the connector. Like, right there. I guess because it was touching, there's like a component right there on the board, and I guess it was touching it. I'm trying to think, what would be the best course of action? I'm trying to think, do I want to undo the ribbon cable first? Yeah. Yes. Yes. I was doing the clips backwards. That's what I was doing. I was fucking that up. I mean, like, I am just so smart, dude. Alright, so yeah, no, I guess we don't have any other choice but to just start taking these guys out here. So, yeah, I'm not gonna, I'm gonna do opposite sides for this board. Not that it really matters. All these screws look to be the same, but again, I just don't want to add unnecessary tension to the board because I am not familiar with what could happen if I were to do so. I mean, you saw me apishly trying to open that thing backwards, so we already know that I'm not, like, qualified for this shit already. So I think it's probably best for me to err on the side of caution. Truth be told, the only things I've ever really opened before are my previous laptops and my PS4. And same thing. And quite frankly, my PS4, like, that was a bit over my head. Like, once I started, because what I was going to try to do, repaste that bad boy. I don't know. It was much more complicated than trying to repaste my laptop. So I fucking gave up on that right quick. I think that was the best call too. And then anyway, because not honestly, like, not long after that, I moved on to a PS5 anyhow. So ultimately, it was okay because now it just kind of became my parents' Blu-ray player. But still, it's like that just kind of goes to show, like, there's a certain limit of things I am willing to do before I just fucking give up. See, one thing I love about this magnetic bowl, dude, is I can keep everything separate. It's like so easy. It's so nice. I think that is all the screws from the board itself. So this is going to be kind of the annoying part, because the second I start moving this, we're going to see little parts and pieces start, like, popping out. Mostly buttons. The real thing you want to be careful of, especially on this end of the board, is the HDMI cable, like just the connectors, the USB-C connectors and the HDMI connectors. You do not want to fuck those up, because if you're like me, you don't know how to solder, and this is not the kind of shit you want to try to be learning how to solder. Okay, cool. So there's the old screen. There's my buttons. I was really hoping to, at one point, I wanted to get, what's it called? I wanted to get PlayStation buttons for this, but that did not happen, and I am not going to do that. Alright, so let's get this out, finally. Not so gentle with that one because it's the old one. It's got to go out anyways, and I'm going to place this, I guess we can just place that here for right now. It's a very pretty motherboard, I'll give it that. And this is especially the part where my expertise is now no longer any sort of expertise. Alright, so let's get these buttons separated where they need to be, because they're going to be, like, falling out all over the place. It actually kind of works out too, because I wanted to switch around the button layout. I don't really like how it doesn't match what I have in my mind and what I have it mapped to. Okay, I think that's pretty much everything. I think now we just got to pop it out. But how? That's the real question. There's this adhesive backing part of it. If you're hearing a lot of shit going on in the background, it's because it's my cat. She just keeps walking around and doing things. She refuses. It's like anytime I ever have a camera or a microphone on, she, the cat that sleeps 25/7 hours a day, suddenly becomes restless and needs to just clack around. All right, how the fuck do we get this out? It looks like there's just adhesive. Oh, sorry. Hold on. It looks like there's just adhesive on both sides. Sorry, I didn't really mean to be doing that all off camera. But the tricky part is that there's, like, that thing there at the bottom. All right, hold on. I gotta do some quick reading and some quick maths. I'm watching Cosmic Gaming Unlimited fucking do this so I can figure it out. Shouts out, dog. Bro, I need a heat gun? The fuck is that? Ah, bruh. Well, yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not getting a heat gun. I don't have patience for a fucking heat gun. We're gonna pry off the glue that's here with our nails like a fucking animal, just as nature intended. So I got a guitar pick. I was able to find one, and I'm just gonna use it to kind of like peel this tape and adhesive back a bit, because I really don't want to damage the frame itself. I don't really care about the old screen at this point. I'm much more concerned about not breaking the shell, because those are actually a lot more hard to come by than the screen. I'm a little confused as to why, for how easy the rest of this was to disassemble, why they would go for such a, I don't know, like such a drastic choice, it seems like, for the screen. Honestly, I know a lot of screens use adhesives. That's not exactly new, but I don't know, this one's like a little, it does feel a little excessive considering what the device is. You know what I mean? Alright, so we got that out. Now it's just a matter of getting this guy off, because I don't imagine that I want to reuse that. Especially without I've just been fucking digging at it like crazy. I don't even know what the hell this is. Is this like an RF shield or something? I'm not quite familiar. Alright, let's go back to Gaming Unlimited and see what they have to say about this. Alright, so now I just gotta say, this part was quite the pain in the dick to get out. And I'm not quite seeing why. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't really understand why it was so difficult to come out. It gave me such a hard time. Luckily, it seems like there's at least enough of this adhesive that I could kind of like repurpose a bit, and hopefully not have to put any new adhesive on with the new screen. That would be really nice. But I'm also not like super hopeful, so we'll see about that. So let's go ahead and open this guy here. Try to be careful since I've basically manhandled the fucking shit out of everything else since this point. So yeah, so this is the part that's going to be kind of tricky, right? Because essentially I need to feed the new screen in, have it sit flush here, and then flip it back around, and then put everything else back in here appropriately with that ribbon cable without fucking it up. And truth be told, I don't know if I am 100% up to that challenge. Like I'm gonna be 100% with y'all. I don't know if I'm like 100% up to this challenge. So we're just gonna go ahead and try. And again, hopefully I don't like uber fuck this up somehow. So I'm gonna say I did splurg to get the screen protector with the glass cover. Just because I liked the option for having a little extra safety. Oh, bro, if this tape, if this tape is the reason this gets fucked up, I'm gonna be so upset. You will have caught it right here on camera. Okay. There better not be any like fucking contacts on there or something. I don't know. Oh, come on, bruh. No, my free screen protector, bro. I've watched enough Bring Us to know that I can't just be doing that, dude. Get out of here with that. At least until I get it on. Now it's got all these bubbles. Well, dude, that's so unsatisfying. That is so unsatisfying. Oh my god, bro. Okay, whatever. I'm not bummed. You're bummed, bro. So this guy's got to sit in here like this. Okay, it's got a little lip, so you know where to press it in. Okay, cool. Sitting nice and flush for the most part. This corner isn't. Oh, that's also very unsatisfying. How can you be flushing everywhere but one corner? Alright, well, that's just gonna have to be, I guess, because I don't know how to fix that without possibly damaging the screen. Yeah, because that adhesive's already pretty set in there. All right, well, at least it's secure. That's kind of the more important bit. And now the hard part, because you need to like get this up and in. So the way that I'm gonna try to approach it is I'm gonna try to like angle it in a way that as I'm inserting the cable, I'm also kind of like trying to flatten it at the correct angle. But it's so tough, dude. It's like, I'm so worried about crimping the ribbon. Dude, it's so tricky. What if we try the opposite direction, right? So we're gonna... No. Yeah, it's because, like, no matter which way I get it, I can't really get a good angle on it to actually get that cable in. Maybe if I try... What if I almost, like, drop it in, right? And then do one of these very gently. See, it's like not... it's not hitting those. It's not getting the pins. And I can see it's not getting the pins. This is stressful. Okay. We got this. Okay, we got this. Alright, I'm just gonna have to be bold, I guess. I do not recommend doing it this way. Especially because, as you can see, it's very easy to, like... fuck, I think I just crimped that. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Because I feel like I'm gonna end up, like, bending it too much on the pullback through. Oh, maybe not. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna clamp it. And now I'm just kind of like gently maneuvering the cable around. Okay. Alright, cool. We did it. Neat. Well, hopefully it worked. We're not out of the woods yet. So now we gotta start replacing buttons, right? Okay, so that's gonna be its own challenge here. Let's see here, that's the D-pad, right? Yeah, so that can just kind of just plop in there, that's fine. I believe that's the membrane for the D-pad. So yeah, luckily that kind of stuff is pretty self-explanatory, and then these other buttons, the accessory buttons, aren't necessarily dependent. You know, like start and options are basically going to be the two same buttons. You know, the reset button is slightly different from what I saw, but otherwise it shouldn't be any real major differences here. Honestly, dude, this kind of shit, like doing this kind of stuff, has the same kind of stress level as playing a game of Operation for me. You know, like it's so fucking stressful. All right, so I want my A button to be at the bottom. Okay, that one I'm pretty sure is the wrong direction. X. I'm gonna do a quick flippy test just to see. Yeah, my B is crooked. But B is for sure crooked. Dude, this ribbon cable makes me so nervous. I just feel like I'm just causing so much damage by even just existing near it right now. If you can hear that crunching, crackling sound, that is the motherboard against the ribbon cable. And it is just as stressful as you might imagine. Oh, Joe Jonas! Oh, you son of a bitch. I just saw that. I accidentally shuffled around my fucking B button again. Why is this being the pain right now? And you get right the fuck back where you were. Cool. Alright, now for the triggers. So, let's see here. This should be L1. And where's L2? Right, okay. I gotta say, like, the inner design of this shit is so cool. You know, like, I'm not a super tech-minded person, so to me, this stuff is pretty neat. You know, and it's just, like, I think about, like, what it took to design this, and I'm like, wow, dude, like, that, like, the trigger design alone is, like, it's pretty fucking neat. Like, I think that's some really clever design choice right there. Alright, so I think that's it for getting those buttons. Let me just give it a quick... and give everything just a quick squeegee. Dude, these fucking reset buttons. This fucking reset button is so annoying. A volume rocker. Okay, so then we're gonna go ahead and just reseat this back in. Gonna match it up by the HDMI cable and the USB-C ports, especially because there's the headphone jack there, right up here. We want to make sure we don't snag that too bad, because me and my homies, you know, like analog output. Me and my homies love analog output. All right, so I'm gonna get another sippy break going, and then we're gonna move on to reseating everything here. And by reseating, I mean re-screwing in all of our screws. Or not all, but the ones on the main board here until we have to put the joysticks back and the speakers. Especially because we just want to make sure that everything else stays nice and secured. And when I do stuff like this, especially, like if I'm putting stuff back, I very, very gently tighten the screws right until I feel resistance. Because I'd rather everything be back in order and like even really tight before I start really tightening it in. Especially because I don't want to accidentally strip any screws by having to do and redo them over and over again. You're probably going to hear I had to kick my cats out of the room because they were being annoying, so you're probably going to hear them. So, sorry if you hear them wailing. They're a bunch of old babies, and I love them, but they're also, super inconsiderate when I've got the camera and mic out. Hopefully you guys have been getting some good ASMR out of this. If not, I apologize for what is probably one of the most boring fucking teardown videos. Especially since I forgot to do the beginning. The initial teardown, but it's okay because we're gonna go back and redo that. We got to put it back together anyways, so it's not like I won't be basically repeating the cycle. I will say, if it wasn't for being such a nervous Nelly and the fact that the economy fucking sucks, I would not mind doing this shit for a living. But yeah, I'm a nervous Nelly and the economy fucking sucks, dude. It feels like impossible to do anything worthwhile. Okay, let's see here. So those are that's the post for that. Okay. If the speakers were magnetic. Okay, yeah, so I don't think we have any posts for those, right? Yeah, okay. No, we should be good. So I think I can just put these right back in. And sorry if I'm using the wrong terminology for shit, bro. I'm not a tech. I do not know what I'm saying. I am just saying things that I've heard watching Salem Techsperts, or Talem Sexperts, as I like to call them, and really old-ass Tektronics videos, because I don't really watch it much anymore, although I really enjoyed watching his stuff. Oh, and of course, Bringus. Bringus is so fun to watch. All right, we've been making our way downtown, walking fast, faces past, and now we are homebound. Hopefully, we didn't fuck everything up, and by we I mean me, and thou who are watching me vicariously. So the next thing to do is to be putting the joysticks back. And this one is the I actually remember this one because it's the non-singed one, so I know that it goes here. These ones are kind of tricky because it's almost not going to feel like you did anything. You know what I mean? You just got to kind of trust the process, which sucks. Usually with something like that, you want to feel like a nice, a click or some kind of haptic feedback to let you know you didn't just fuck something up. But no, that's not the case here. You just kind of got to hope that shit works, which is exactly what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to just be hoping that it works. Again, gentle pressure. I still love the speaker design. I just think that's so fucking neat. I think it's so cool that they're basically just magnetic. I really don't like that scorch mark, though. I don't know what the hell R key means, but apparently R key, whatever that means, when this was touching that screw before, created a short or some kind of singe. So that is a little bit worrisome, but it's also one of the more easily repaired parts of this console as far as I'm aware. Or replaceable. The joysticks aren't really that big of a deal. You can get Hall effect ones or whatever. These are just the stock ones that came with this. Because before this, I've only ever opened this one other time before, and it was literally just to see what I was going to be in for when I had to replace my screen. Because I wanted to see, is this something that I even wanted to do on my own, or is this something that I was just gonna, spend another $50 to $70 on another one of these, depending on if the time came. And I decided, fuck it. $12 to possibly fix something myself. Worth it. All right, now just before I put the speakers back on, because they're magnetic, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go back through and just make sure that all of these are properly tight and that all my buttons click. That's good. All the ports seem to be matched up well. Oh, I forgot the function button. Whoa, damn, dude. Of course, after I put all of this stuff back on. Can I squeeze that in there? No, I'm gonna have to reopen that. What a pain. Let's see, I might not have to undo the entire thing. Let's see. We might have to cut past that. Damn it, I am an asshole. Dude, what a fucking bummer. Well, it's not the end of the world here, I guess. It's just kind of a pain more than anything. Let's see, is there enough flex for me to kind of squeeze it past? No. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to undo all of this shit. That sucks, but that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes, dude. See, and this is also why I do not screw everything in super hella tight the first way around, because I always do something like this. I always forget something. I always leave something out. I've always got to go back later to do something, and it's a pain. And literally, it is one of the most important buttons it's on the device, you know, like, if it was the reset button, I would have been like, you know what, fuck it. Like, I never use that thing anyways. It's fine. Alright, and as you can see, I'm not going to take the joysticks out again because I really don't need to take them out. I just need enough room to just put the function button back in, and then we're just going to set everything back in. Sorry, I hear my cat yapping. She's so pissed. I feel bad having to keep her in there, but it's like so distracting, you know, like I don't want to, as you've probably seen, I've already probably put like, I probably already put like a million little micro gouges in here at this point. So preventing any more unnecessary damage is just, it's worth it. Plus she's fine. She's got a bed, she's got treats, she's got a water fountain, she's got a pee and poo box, bro, like... Man, she got it made in there, dude. How long have I been doing this for? God damn. Holy shnikes. Okay. Well, I mean, that's what happens when you fuck up. It takes a long time. It takes a long time to fix your mistakes. Remember, do not like follow in my footsteps. This is for entertainment purposes only. I am not telling you how to do this. This is you should not follow my example. I am not trained. I am not a professional. I am simply a buffoon with time on his hands who was trying to fix his own shit. Okay. I think that's it. Other buttons seem to be good and in place. Okay. All right, the first one I'm going to do is the one that's underneath this joystick, because it makes me very nervous. That is not the right screw for that. Gosh diddly darn, was this an excursion, man? I was not expecting it to be. I knew it was going to be a lot. It was a bit, how do I say, more and a bit less than what I was expecting. But hey, the night's still young, you know. I think I'm on the home stretch here, and for all I know, maybe this has only just begun. Hopefully I didn't just foreshadow something horrific. You know, I realized I've been calling them joysticks, and like I don't think that's actually correct, right? Aren't joysticks like Atari shits, you know, like the ones that go on arcade cabinets and stuff, or like old school fighting sticks and stuff like that? I don't think these are technically joysticks. I don't know what these are considered. I guess you could consider them analog sticks, but they don't necessarily feel like analog sticks in the way that I'm used to. Like things like, what's it called? Like PlayStation's analog sticks. I've been a lifelong Sony slut, so I don't really know much about any other type of analog stick. Dude, I dead ass hear my cat like fucking yowling from the other room, and I swear to God, I'm just gonna open it. I'm gonna open that door. She's gonna yell at me. She's gonna be like, meow, and then she's gonna be all hunky dory. Everything's gonna be a-okay. But you know what? She's a widow old lady, and I love her. So you do what you do. You do what you gotta do for love, man. You know. Yeah, she's a sweet 16-year-old lady. My wobbly little crunchy cat. Yeah, maybe if this all goes well and we're lucky, I'll give you guys a little sneak peek. Alright, cool. So this is going to be the last internal screw. Oh, dude, I'm like so nervous about scratching up this board. Again, I don't recommend like tightening like crazy. Like just, you know, this once you start feeling like a good resistance where you feel like you need to push more, stop right there. You know, because you want it to be snug, but you don't want it to strip, and you don't want it to be so locked tight that when you go to try to like, you know, repair it later or service it later, that it's like a fucking nightmare and a half. Like I'm putting incredibly light pressure here. Now, on to the speakers. So this one goes right here. You actually know where it's going to go because it has these little grooves where the screw posts go to. And there's like these little like grippy like lock mechanisms. So you basically just put it right there, slide it on. The magnet is going to help keep that in place. And then you can take your little cable there and plug that back in. Yeah, so we just set it back down there. Let's see if I can do another one. No, it's going to be a little trickier because it's going to be one-handed, but you got your spot right there. Just pop it in. There's the groove with the screw post. And then it should just slide right in. You don't want to feel too much resistance. It should feel snug, but not like you have to force it. And then you just go ahead and pop that guy in there too. All right. Yeah, my biggest point of advice for this entire procedure is just be patient, man. Oops, shit. I was gonna say, like, especially if you've never done something like this, like, you just gotta take your time, man. There's gonna be little parts and pieces you didn't know or think about, like this right here. Like, I just lifted this up, and now I gotta find where that other part just went, because it just straight up lost it. There it is. Went under my mic. Alright, and the cool thing about this guy too is that you actually, because it has clips, you don't really have to screw everything back in to test it once it's done. You just gotta reconnect the battery, and you can just connect the back like that. Alright. And then once you know everything's good, you can finally screw everything back together. We'll just give it a quick close up here. All right. Looks pretty good. I wish it was a little bit more flush here on the side, but that seems like more of like an installation problem on my end than the actual screen. And let's see here. One of these has my operating system on it. I believe it is. Oh, I believe it's this one. All right. So, moment of truth. Let's see if it works. There we go. Fucking faked me out there for a second, dude. Holy shit. I'd be so nervous. Why would you do that, boy? Look at that, though. That is a pretty screen. Let's just make sure everything works. So we should have an input tester around here somewhere. Test toolkit. I mean, from what I can tell here, everything seems okay. I don't remember exactly how to get to the input tester. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't used this thing in a couple weeks because it's been broken. So I kind of forgot how this all works. But yeah, honestly, I think I would call this one a success. Especially because comparatively, I mean, it's definitely working a lot better than my last screen. The last screen had a bunch of fucked up lines on it and stuff like that. So, hell yeah, dude. Totally worth it. Just $12 is all it cost me, and some time. So, if you were considering doing it, I'm a buffoon, and I took care of it, and you basically watched all of the mistakes that I made during the process. So if you can handle that and you think it's worth it, I think it's worth it, especially for something like this. Like, I got this device kind of with the idea that I was going to spend my time using it to do stuff like this, like modding it and everything. So I would say it's worthwhile. Definitely better than trying to like buy a new device or something like that. So hell yeah, dude. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around if you did. And I'll catch you next time. Peace. It's been Minutiae.